James Singh, the head of the Customs Anti-Narcotics Unit, says he's disappointed and disturbed that the 5 persons busted with over 25 pounds of cocaine in a house in Nagar were granted bail on the first hearing.
The persons arrested, both male and female, have been names that have been linked to narcotics trafficking and even served some time in prison for the same offense. They're placed before the court, and even without 3 hours later, they're put on bail for a very small amount. This is very disturbing and disappointing because it shows that regardless of what your status is, persons have been able to get bail, especially in cases where we've actually arrested persons with a criminal history, namely narcotics. They still managed to get bail. You just asked about big fish. I wouldn't give those persons a title, but I would say that considering that they've been linked in narcotics for over 25 years, I would consider them very senior persons within the trade, and as such, some sort of discussion should be made regarding the bail and plus the amount. All you're doing now is giving them a big more prominence within their community as if they're untouchables, which is not the case. The fact that they were charged by CANU means that we have enough evidence to lay those charges and to take them before the court. Well, no. For us, it's about convictions. It's not just about how many people you put before the court. At the end of the day, conviction leads to asset forfeiture because, as you've seen, the government is now supporting agencies like FIU and SOCU. We just don't want to take the narcotics off the street. We want to take the proceeds from that illegal activity. As you would have seen in front of our office, there are several motor vehicles and maritime vessels that are all proceeds of this illegal activity. So it's not just about seizing the drug, it's about also taking away your assets.
Lena Narain, James Hubbard, K. Butcher, Jamal Narain, and Gregory Farai, a Surinamese national, appeared in the Georgetown Magistrates Court before Magistrate Chardell Isaacs, charged with possession of narcotics for the purpose of trafficking. They all pleaded not guilty and were granted $500,000 bail each. However, Lena Narain was charged with trafficking 266 grams of ecstasy, and she was placed on an additional $500,000 bail for that offense. Singh said the level of cooperation among the joint services and the support given by the Ministry of Home Affairs has contributed to some of the success the Customs Anti-Narcotics Unit are currently having in the drug trafficking trade.
Many of the narcotic operations result in the seizure of firearms also, so there's a national security issue that goes beyond just narcotics on a whole. Most of these drugs that you've seen here would have been drugs that was imported from other countries. So it's not just cocaine. You've seen marijuana now, foreign marijuana that has a much higher price coming into Guyana, as well as the prevalence of narcotics in various regions, 5 and 6 for example. You're seeing a lot more seizures. Our strategy is to work with the communities also. A lot of information that we're getting, it's not just, as I mentioned, from the joint services, but also communities that are coming forward. They recognize that drugs is prevalent in their neighborhoods, and they share information with the police force or CANU, hence resulting in our successes.
He said the private sector has a very important role to play in the drug fight.
All too often we ask, what are we doing? It's not just CANU. The private sector has a very important role to play. These ports are not government ports. They're controlled by private companies. So what we're doing now is working a lot closer with them to show them systems that can help improve. At the end of the day, it's not about just how much drugs you seize. It's about causing or being a deterrent. If persons recognize that your facility has strong systems that does not facilitate criminal activities, then their reputation continues to be in good standing, as well as it forces traffickers to look for other routes.
On Saturday, CANU destroyed 1,500 kilos of marijuana seized at different ports, which carries an estimated street value of $2.5 million. The majority of the marijuana was imported, according to Singh.